Ode to Joy. Ode, I forget the name of the... this is the European Union Citizens Initiative for the Stop Killing Games, which has passed 1.3 million signatures. So it had gotten over the finish line last stream, and in that time it has accrued another 300,000 signatures, which is in the margin, is over the margin even that Ross from Accursed Farms was hoping to get, because he was afraid that once the European Union starts asking countries to validate the signatories, that many of them would be wiped out for being fraudulent. So he was hoping to get many, many more signatures, and 1.3 million is more than what he was originally asking for. He is still asking people to sign and get people to sign because he wants that margin as high as possible, because he doesn't really know how many will be removed. But this is over his original goal. It's not voting, it's a petition. It's a petition. Somebody needs to tell Pirate Software. I think Pirate Software is not having a good time. It's almost unbelievable to me how Jason has not managed to deal with this correctly at all. Because he's a part of that night media, right? The same night media that like Asmongold and Kersha are members of. And I think Shondo as well. So he should have access. Like, what is he a part of this organization for? If not to help with situations like this. Like, why would you join a personality union like Night Media? Or I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's Mythic or Night or whatever. I didn't know he worked for Blizzard. Well, so what's the point? Because you would think what would happen is you're a big public figure. You make lots of money from being a public figure. You join this group. They just make and sell merchandise. Is that it? Okay. That would make a lot of sense if it was just a merchandising thing. But I don't know. I've always heard the conspiracy that they were covering for each other. And that might be a thing where they just don't talk bad about other people in their Discord, where they are like a part of each other's groups and shit. But you would expect that if you join a media group like this, they would help with PR. And I cannot think of anybody who more desperately needs a PR team, like not even just like a PR person, but like a whole team of people to help this idiot stop burying himself alive. Because he continues to make statements about how all 1.3 million people who have signed this petition are like a hate mob. They're trying to destroy him. It's like zombies. Like he's extremely like dehumanizing to people, and he completely fails to understand why people are upset. And he just thinks like, if I just stream business as usual and ban everybody in my chat, everybody will forget about this. And it's like, I don't need like a PR team to figure out how to deal with this. Like the fact is like he showed no humility to his situation at all. The fact that 1.3 million people signed this petition, and many of them just out of spite because of how stupid he is, like has not humbled him in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like he could have somebody said that the Europeans deserve to be dehumanized. That made me laugh. He could have diffused a lot of this by just being like, look, I understand people are very passionate about this. I said a lot of stuff that was really mean to Ross. You know, I was being performative for my audience, and I didn't mean for him to take it personally. Sometimes as a streamer, you just forget that things that you say are heard by other people that aren't your friends and your viewers. And, you know, I hope they get what they want, and I'm wrong about its negative impact. Like, that's just a little bit. Just a little bit of humility, chat. You just can't do it. I feel like that's a perfectly reasonable statement, because it admits no wrong. You know, you can still have your principled stance against government regulation and admit that you were a dickhead to this guy, and that a bunch of people thought that you were a dickhead to this guy. And when 800,000 people think that you're a dickhead, you probably are. You probably did act like a dickhead. But I don't know, man. This is just what happens when you're a Nepo baby. When you grow up the son of a millionaire, and you will always have a path to success in your life. You can get a job at your favorite video game company, and you can instantly obtain hundreds of thousands of viewers by exploiting the algorithm that you have privileged access to. Like someone, like it probably was a thing where, you know, his father who worked at Blizzard knew a guy who worked at Google or YouTube, and then, you know, they were having a conversation at like a furry convention, right? They just got done butting each other in otter costumes. They light up a blunt, and he's like, so I want to get into streaming. And the other guy is like, he hits the blunt and is like, bro, my dad works at Google, and let me tell you, if you want to become a streamer, all you got to do is you got to make your name like words people search. Like the number one thing that people search for on YouTube or Google that they don't show you is pirate and software. He's like, yeah, pirate software. I will name myself that. Then he names himself Pirate Software, and surprise, having privileged access to a little bit, not even like a conspiracy to prop him up as the next streamer as like an industry plant, just incidentally exposed to privileged information. That's what nepotism is. You don't need to be pushed along. You don't need to have like deliberate efforts made to build you up. It's just you happen to know a guy who happens to know what some of the most popular search terms are on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and then you just use that information to your advantage. That is literally what nepotism is. And he thinks like, well, because my dad didn't literally go out and literally find thousands of people and force them to watch me, it's not nepotism. It's like, actually it is. It is actually. And then he's never had any challenge. He's never been told no. No, you can't do that. No, you can't smoke that weed. No, you can't make your voice sound extra fake and gay. No, you can't get butt in an otter costume. No, you can't call yourself Pirate Software as the most pro IP industry stooge that has ever lived. No, you can't do that. He's never been told that. So now 800,000 people are telling him, no, you're a dickhead. And he's just like, wow, there sure is a hate mob. Okay, buddy. Your grandfather invented the vending machine. I believe that. That sounds true. Do you have any insider knowledge about vending machines? Is there like a button I can press to get free Ruffles from a vending machine? I mean, share your nepotistic insider information about vending machines. There's a secret code. Oh my God. We're going to learn the code to the vending machine. By the way, the Pirate Software debacle has reached the normies on TikTok. If you're only listening, this is a video of Pirate Software in his bed, seething and crying. And outside, there is a very happy Ross with a note that he would like to show, a petition that he would like to show Pirate Software. So this got thousands. How many thousands? I didn't know how many thousands. How many thousands? Where the fuck is it on the shit-ass website? I see 800 comments. I see 35,000 likes. I see 5,000 bookmarks. 2,700 forwards. Where is the view count? What the? Why would you make a website that doesn't have a view count? Can I click this guy's profile and see the views? He's into anime titties. Good to know. So his videos usually get 200 views. How much shit does he post? Just watch. 225,000 views. Okay. Okay. So that's what's happening in the normie sphere. They're making fun of this this guy. It's broken containment. It's on TikTok, and everybody. Actually, I kind of want to read the comments on that. This is a cultural exchange. I never look at TikTok, so I never know what they're doing over there. Let's see what the kids are up to, chat. Remilia Fumo says, but he worked at Blizzard. 29 comments. The alt-right grifter arc is going to be insane. I love the European Union forcing regulations upon corporations. All caps. Very agreeable. 800 likes. You will own Z Games. You will own everything. Modern day EU finally doing something good. Another European Union classic from Lieutenant Greek. Finally, I think nobody has benefited from the European Union more than the Greeks. Makeson says, how dare they try to hurt my beloved $1 million companies? Actually, sweaty, they're billion with a B dollar companies. I don't understand. Can you explain using MS Paint? Another day to be proudly European. Oh, all the Euros are so happy. Like, look, we're relevant. We're relevant. I saw the European Union flag and I clapped. I clapped, chat. He'll be fine. He worked it. That's funny. It's funny because it's just like they're in their own little bubble and they're still taking dunks on them. That's great. Oh well. So very funny Giga Chad, goodly news chat. So I mentioned that I was supposed to talk to Card Posting, and then he said he was too busy to do an interview. Like, okay. He then joined the Kiwi Farms after posting a video saying, can Kiwi Farms ever be good? I'll go in. So I've not read this, but he's had some back and forth with the community over the last week. And I have been informed that this has ended poorly for him. Probably not in the way you're thinking, but I'm not quite sure what to expect. So Card Posting says, hello there, this is Card. I am signing up to use this website in some capacity. I will fully explain my rationale behind this decision and prove this account is really me in the next proper video I upload to my YouTube page. So he posted the video, can Kiwi Farms ever be good? I'll go in. And it has a picture of the slobber mutt from WikiHow saying, step 1, approach the dog carefully, which is a very choice thumbnail. Quite kino indeed, actually. Your source says, hi, Card, welcome to the farms. If anyone acts like a dumb neighbor fage towards you, just let me know so I can bully them. I'll just skip to the highlights. What is your professional opinion of Rupert the cat? For reference, and there's a picture of a very cute kitten. I'm not sure what Card's response to that is. I'll skip through the highlights here. No better hide the secret MLP board before Card Posting finds out. That's not any worse than the public VTuber board, I assure you. HackerX says, welcome to the Ciabatta zone. You think someone like you would be disliked here by every known metric. That doesn't seem to be the case. I can only speak for myself, but the vibe I'm getting is people appreciate how you're inarguably and authentically you. It's kind of gay. Don't suck no ass. Okay, he says, hello everyone. I'm sure you've realized I'm here and most likely saw my most recent video. Well, it's true. I've been interested in seeing firsthand for myself what Kiwi Farms is like and seeing if there are any redeeming qualities whatsoever, contrary to the mainstream perception of it as an unambiguously evil doxing site. Further, I may end up using the site in some capacity as I work towards putting together something of an expose on Jason Thorhall, even Card Posting, getting in on dunking on pirate software. You'd love to see it, folks. As I believe has unfortunately been made necessary by recent events, he feels the call. He sees the card signal up in the sky. He's like, yeah, all these YouTubers with 1 million subscribers that have called him out, they need me. They need me to, it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Once the Card Posting video comes out, it's over for this. I didn't come here to get into a big argument, although I may be open to answering some central questions. Furthermore, Josh Woman never got back to me after my response to his original email with him concerning finding a time to a hypothetical chat. He sent me a message saying that he was too busy. I didn't follow up with it because that was his message. That was his response. I didn't realize that my response was expected. Oh, his Pirate Software and Postal 2. Oh, it was the video of Pirate Software. He posted the Kiwi Farms video of Pirate Software getting blown to pieces by a shotgun in Postal 2. And then it's surprised that he got a violation for that. Like, yeah, there's a reason why I didn't post that on Twitter. That's pretty extreme. You're literally shooting him. Like, I understand it's in good favor, but yeah. A picture of Card dragging Jason to his death with a Warhammer. I know that people like Warhammer. You know what? Now I have a much better appreciation of Warhammer. I always kind of lumped Warhammer into anime shit, but now I see that Warhammer as a Western medium is literally infinitely better than anime in every conceivable fashion. I can't stand this. With a very small handful of exceptions, Australians who put on American accents are the worst. Carl Jobs, Sidney Watson, Card Posting, all of them can go die in a fire. That's very mean. I've just uploaded the recording of a live stream where I talk more about my motive in looking into the Kiwi farms, my plan for a JSON video, and primarily responding to the comments people left here about me in a few days. Let's get to it. Picture of Pirate Software being hanged by card posting with his butt cheeks as the mechanism to pull the rope. Very fascinating. Archive of his channel. Here's a hypothetical idea I'd like to throw around to anyone who doesn't like Jason Thor Hall. I'll post here rather than on YouTube just in case. I'm hoping that there are big fans of the JTH Drama Hog. Carry this idea back to them. In the official Pirate Software Discord, there's a bunch of channels hidden from regular public view. One of these is essentially a coordinated report button abuse chat room, lorded over by Hall himself. Oh. Oh. No access for that. So it's a hidden channel, and someone linked the hidden channel message like, hey guys, report this video of Pirate Software getting blown to pieces by a shotgun in Postal 2. And then they're like, whoa, buddy, don't talk about that in public. You have to keep that to the special secret channel where we mass report videos. So he's done an exposure here. I will even postmark this because this is important stuff here, chat. Okay. People reported this post, by the way, because he was asking for people like to coordinate to like put bounties out and information by him, and guys are like, that's kind of gay. Do your own work. No trolling plans. Autistic internet shit will never amount to real world consequences for anyone with a spine. Get threatened online is a meme. Get defamed online is a meme. Debanking is a meme for 99% of people. And a modicum of self-sufficiency is a cure to the 1% affected by it. If anything, you seem like the painfully naive one. Your entire worldview seems to stem from a fear of what other people might do to you. You conceive of yourself as merely something to be acted upon by others. Well, buddy, when you can't make any money, you're a little bit... You seem like the type of person content to pay rent. So he owns his shed. He doesn't pay rent for the shed. He owns it outright. That's why he lives in a shed, because that's what he afforded. I see. I can respect that. Even if the banking was orders of magnitude more likely to happen to any given person than it really is, being denied the ability to maintain a bank account does not mean being entirely cut off from economic life. It effectively is that. If you think otherwise, you've already lost, and your loss is entirely self-inflicted. Enough self-sufficiency, work ethic, and disregard for the opinions of others will, in practice, shield you from all the worst consequences the corporate powers that be can ever throw at you under capitalism. I disagree. I feel like I'm pretty self-sufficient, and I work pretty hard to keep my site up, but I am still profoundly negatively impacted by not being able to process credit cards. And then people did not respond positively to that and said, it's impressive how quickly you've thrown away the goodwill users have shown towards you. Please continue to double down. Insane locale behavior, dude. This is what I had set aside. He says, oh, one last thing for the good of the people in the thread. Here's a glowing Steam review of Fat Queen, written by Card himself after 4.5 hours of playtime, blushing face, dated from 2019. So this is a Steam review from Card, which means I have to read this in his voice, I guess. Fat Queen belongs to a genre of game which, prior to playing, I was admittedly unfamiliar with. However, I feel it is still possible to review it for what it is, as an experience, without having been spoiled by what a game in the same genre could potentially do with larger production values. Fat Queen explains its concept with a brief tutorial. The player is expected to do little else in the game, then occasionally choose a response to on-screen prompts and, to, describing this euphemistically in a Steam-friendly way, do the thing they downloaded this game for, to a metronome beat. The metronome system comprises the bulk of the gameplay, only to be broken up by little vignette scenes with 3 characters. The titular queen, very, very punny. Very punny. The titular queen, an aloof Egyptian empress, and a patronizing succubus, which are interspersed throughout the length of a roughly 20-minute game per session in order to control the pacing of the plot progression. Nevertheless, on a technical level, the game runs well, has no obvious major bugs, and the art of the on-screen woman is all consistently good. complex enough to look appealing if you're into 2D jigs, that is, while retaining a simple enough design to not come off as excessive. There's a roster of Steam achievements, not that it matters in this sort of thing, and it's entirely free, which is always a big plus. Conditionally recommended. That is like a review brought tier review of a graphic game where apparently you beat your schmeat to a beat. Very fascinating stuff. Can't wait for his next review. I want to see the video review of Fat Queen. I was cautioned against talking about card on stream because people suspect he's just trying to get YouTube viewers, which is like, yeah, obviously, but it is what it is. So that's what Card's up to. He doesn't believe in debanking and believes that if you just decouple yourself enough from capitalism, you can enjoy free games like Fat Queen.